Good evening, and welcome to an episode of the Unexpected Detour. I am your host, Frances Hammond, and here at the Unexpected Detour, we say where in life detours are inevitable. Today is the last day of Black History Month, and I wanted to come on here to thank my guests who took the time out of their busy schedules to be a participant in my little Black History program. And they're not famous, but they make a difference in the world. It's Black history, they're Black people, and they're making a difference. So, with that being said, I would like to thank the following guests, and I will tell you a little bit about them. The first guest I had on here was Stephen Lewis. Stephen Lewis, his episode, he came from corporate America to become an entrepreneur. Well, let's say a solopreneur. He was very busy at working on his dream, but he wasn't listening to God's voice. When God would tell him to move, Stephen, being a husband and having three children, a home, and a wife, you're worried about your your everything. Everything that you're worried about, insurance, health insurance. But he took that step out in faith, and I'm happy for him. And now he is a content creator where he has a lounge called the Clarity Lounge, which is online. If you look at his episode called From Corporate to Entrepreneur, you will hear him, and you probably can walk away with some suggestions if you're looking to become an entrepreneur such as he had. The next guest I had on here was Octavia SoulSista Cohen. Octavia SoulSista Cohen is a alopecia person, a alopecia woman who has struggled with alopecia from the time she was a young person. And then she took off all her hair, excuse me, and she decided it was time. So without her being sad about it, she decided to do something different. She created a place, a group called Shades of Blue. Shades of Blue, which I am a part of as well because I have alopecia, is a place, it's online, and you get on there and she talks, she encourages you. As well as that, to bring in money, she makes her own jewelry. It's called Cohen's Coin, Copper Coins, sorry, Copper Coins. That is hers. If you go on hers, she is the advocate and the artist. And on there, you will find information about exactly what she does. And if you're interested, you will love her jewelry. I have purchased them. They're handmade, they're wood, they're painted, they're beautiful. Next up, I had Andrea C. Andrea C., I've known her since she was a young child, and I wanted her on here because I wanted her to share her journey. She is a teacher as well as a businesswoman. She managed to integrate everything that she does, as well as learning from being in an MLM, which is a multi-level marketing company that we were in together. And when you're in there, the only way that you really make money is to work, recruit, and build up these people so they can sustain you and what you make. Nothing about bad about them if that's what you like. But yes, she and I did it. But after coming out of there, she decided it was time to take what she learned from being in that MLN and make her own money for her own self by creating, her and her husband, a business called C7 Delivers. C7 Delivers is an equivalent to Grubhub and DoorDash, where they're located in Orange County. If you're interested in hearing her podcast or viewing it on YouTube, All of them are on YouTube and podcast titled The Unexpected Detour. Hers is called Educator to Businesswoman. Next the line, I had Dwayne Graham. Dwayne Graham, I've met through his wife. He is he went to the same church as I went to. He is now a pastor, but his beginnings did not begin like that. He came from a beginning where he will explain his father died. He had a whole family. His father died. And I guess you look for something else to do to cover it up. So you want money to help your mom make it. So you go to the street. From the street, you go to jail when you get caught, busted selling drugs. And here in New York, there was a law called, I forgot the name of the law, you'll see it. There was a law, and in that law, you go serve 25 years if you're caught with a certain amount of drugs on you. And that's what his sentence was, 25 years. But in there, he encountered God. He never knew anything about this, no kind of connection, but God saved him from whatever he was going to be doomed to in jail. He got out in 5 years, and that's awesome. That had nothing but God. And now he is a pastor. He pastors a church that's called Gospel Cultural Center. It is online for now, but the first Friday of the month, they meet in White Plains, which that information is on there as well. And I can't remember the name of this thing. Sorry. Then I had my cousin next, Eric Benson, who he too. He grew up in a home, and I can say where the mother was addicted to drugs. He was out there in the street. He learned from his brother, his older brother. He murdered somebody. He gets locked up. He served 27 years and 6 months. So from the age of 20, he is locked up behind bars. But he didn't let it go to waste. He got his GED, he got his associate's degree, his bachelor's degree, and his master's degree. His mindset changed, and that's what changed him. As of now, he has a podcast called Success After Lockup, which you will enjoy listening to as he gets together other people who were incarcerated and they're out and they're telling their story. Next in line, we had Andrea Atherton-Bonner. And she is someone that I've met in church, and she too had a journey. She didn't like working for corporate America. So she fakes this thing where she's going to say she's crazy, but God had another thing for her. She never got to do that. She never got to say she was crazy to try to get out of the job. Instead, God did one better. It was gone. It was during the COVID, so she was let go. So instead of having to try to make your way and get out of it, God blessed her by saying it's over and you still have your money that you get from severance pay. So with that, she is a teacher, and she decided it was time to teach. But she's a smart one because she calls herself, she teaches you this thing, the power of quitting. And her thing, it was not a bad connotation about quitting. It was about power that you have when you can make your own rules. When you don't want to be bothered, you just do your own thing. So that she is a real estate dealer. She's a real estate agent, sorry. She's a real estate agent. She owns two Airbnbs in Florida. She is setting up a group home in Florida for let me say, I guess you could say disabled adults for them to live there. I believe it's like 5 people that will live in this home. And then she also has like a work center where she has something for people who are disabled, adults that are disabled, where they can come there and do some activities during the day. And that she is doing with her teaching skills, but it's her business. She doesn't punch into anybody's clock. She does her own thing. And that's awesome. Okay, that is amazing. Next, I had up Kimberly Policano. Kimberly Policano, I've known since she was 18. At the age of 25, she was diagnosed with diabetes. She went from having diabetes, where it got so bad, where she went on kidney dialysis, where both kidneys fail. She gets a transplant. And in the interim of getting that transplant, she was going through other health issues. Like when you have diabetes, when you get wounds and stuff, they don't heal easily, those people. The diabetics don't heal easily. So she had a problem with her foot. Unfortunately, the foot that had the problem had a hole like this big in it. It was rotten in there. She had sepsis in there, and the foot had to be amputated. But guess what? She's still kicking. So her story would encourage those who are struggling with diabetes. I believe it would be a big help for somebody who has diabetes, and they need to just hear what it's like to go through it. And probably by listening, you might change before you get to the stage where you end up getting a kidney transplant. Next, I had on there Selena Cherry. Selena Cherry, I met from church as well. I seem to meet a lot of people from church, but it's okay. I met her from church, and she was on this ministry called the Smile Ministry. And every time you walk into church, she would just smile and give you a hug. It was a good thing to have going to a church and getting that hug and just that love right there. But Selena does work. She works a full-time job, but she likes something that maybe a lot of people like, candles. She loved candles, but she found out she was getting these migraines from candles. So she decided she was going to experiment and see what kind of candle she can make that would not give her migraine headaches, and that she has done. She has accomplished that. And the candles, I must say, are amazing. The smell is so amazing. I buy them and I never light them up because the smell smells right through that glass. And my last guest was Ranelle Wilson. Ranelle is my neighbor, and she does body contour. And I took an interest in it because I wanted to know what it was. When I say this young lady can work those hands, you will not be disappointed. She can work the hands. She uses wood tools. And what's so awesome about her? She sits there and she will explain everything to you. And the whole idea is if you don't listen, you don't get results. You can't go to her. She tells you what you should do. She'll explain to you what to do, how to tone your body when you're not going to her. But like with anything, when you're not coachable and all of these things that people are doing, you had to be coachable. In order to be coachable, you will get ahead. Take it from me. I know there were several times I wasn't coachable, but I've learned from each one of these individuals that being coachable, being able to take this criticism and not take it in a negative connotation way, but in a positive way because they want you to excel at what you're doing. It really works. So I would love if you would take the time out and to go on the Unexpected Detour with a heart. We are on most platforms where you get your podcasts. We are on YouTube, the Unexpected Detour LLC, and you will be able to see the people instead of just hearing them. And I would love if you would just like, subscribe, follow, and share because sharing is caring. And next month, I will be coming out with a book. So next month, I will tell, well, next month is tomorrow, but we'll save that for then. So, and let me just end with this. If you are a woman and you are waiting for this October to get a mammogram, you are mistaken. Go get it now. Learn how to do self-examinations. It's important. But I'm not going to delay anymore because I really came on here just to thank my guests, not talk about me. And I'm going to end this. Thank you for your time and giving me the opportunity to share and thank my guests. With that being said, I will catch you at another time next month. Next month is Women's Month. So I will be back then. Have a good day. Bye.